In this video, we began our trip through Italy. We spent 2 days in Rome, trying to see as much as we could, but our feet could only take us so far in so little time. You really need way more than 2 days to see it all. We were determined to cram in as much as we could, but we may have overestimated our abilities. And it begins. We are in the car on the way to the airport to embark on the biggest trip we've ever taken.
We're going to Italy and Croatia. I'm so excited.
There's a lot of firsts for us on this trip. It's our first time to Italy and Croatia. It's the first time we're ever going to get to go first class on an airplane. It's my first time on a wide-body airplane. And we get to go to the first class lounge today for the very first time.
This lounge is exclusive to United Polaris first class passengers on long haul only. So it's a beautiful lounge from what we've seen. I can't wait to go and experience it.
Airports by far are my least favorite part about traveling. I love traveling. I love being at the destination. I hate getting there, and it's because of the airports. But so far on this trip, it's been a breeze. We pulled up in the shuttle, went through into the ticket counter, and we were through in 5 minutes. Our bags were checked. We were through security in less than 2 minutes, and made it to the lounge. I can't complain. It's been a great experience so far. Is it a little tough?
It's crispy on the outside.
Yeah.
I haven't had sweets in so long.
Dessert.
After finishing our lunch in the lounge restaurant and thoroughly enjoying that cookie skillet, we boarded the first of 2 flights that would take us to Rome. As mentioned earlier, this was our first and probably the only time flying first class. We had adjoining seats in the center of the plane, which has a dividing wall you can use to separate the pods if you wish. All the pods are pretty private, but the odd number seats have the most privacy. The even number seats are angled more towards the aisle. What we are showing is from our return flight, where we sat separately and had a window seat. But the overall features are the same. We had lay-flat seats with a ton of legroom and a little padded cubby that's used when laying down all the way for your feet. There was plenty of storage around the seat, as well as we had our own overhead bin. The supersized entertainment system had a bunch of movies and TV shows, games, music, maps, and a ton of flight information. We received an amenity kit filled with all kinds of goodies like lip balm, lotion, a toothbrush. But some of these items are a little more useful than others. I wouldn't say sleeping in first class is super comfortable, but it's by far better than a regular seat. I've never been able to sleep in coach, but was able to get a few hours in these seats. We were both super grateful to be able to experience this level of pampering.
After nearly 11 hours, 2 hot meals, and a long nap, we landed in Barcelona for a short layover, where we were fast-tracked through customs so we could make our connection. We boarded the next plane, which was not equipped with first-class pods. That was fine because it was a short flight to Rome and we had a window seat. Once in Rome, we retrieved our bags and grabbed a taxi to our Airbnb. Swain had booked a nice studio apartment that had all of the essentials, plus a little balcony. We took a quick tour and dropped off our luggage. Even though we had slept a bit on the plane, we were very tired, but we decided to take a walk and check out the neighborhood and grab a bite to eat. Thankfully, the restaurant we chose had an enclosed seating area as it began to pour rain. With our bellies full and exhaustion setting in, we called it a night.
Even though the jet lag was hitting us pretty hard, we got up early for a very full day. One thing we learned about Italy, if you get up really early, you have the streets to yourself.
We are currently walking to the Vatican Museum. Everywhere we look, it's just beautiful. We want to capture it all.
We made our way to the Vatican Museum as our first stop. We had a guide who walked us through the ticketing check, skipping the lines, and through security. We were then free to explore the amazing rooms and halls on our own. After ending in the Sistine Chapel 3 hours later, we needed a break and stopped for some sandwiches nearby. I had a caprese sandwich while Joe had prosciutto with mozzarella. They were quite good. Our energy restored, we headed to St. Peter's Basilica. I had tickets for Skip the Line, but there was quite a long Skip the Line line. It took about an hour to get through, and it was at this point our feet were really starting to feel the fatigue and pain. But once we entered the church, we were just speechless. It's an amazingly beautiful place. My plan after the Basilica was to take the long way back to our Airbnb and see a couple other sites. We passed by Castel St. Angelo, went through the Piazza Navona, which had a couple amazing water fountains. We then walked to the Roman Pantheon. I had tickets for this as well, but we came a bit late, and by this time we were just exhausted. It was about 3 p.m. The Pantheon was crowded, with so many people.
Down farther.
And we just decided to head back to our room instead of going inside. We took a short nap before heading back out. We walked to the Trastevere neighborhood, a really charming bohemian neighborhood known for its vibrant nightlife and popular Roman food. Dinner was at Osteria da Fortunata. It was so good. We both had pasta, of course.
Turns out Rome's pretty big. There's a lot to see. It's full of stuff.
Old stuff.
Old stuff. Not just old, but really cool stuff. Every time we turned around, there was stuff to video.
You started videoing as soon as we got in the cab on the way to Rome. It's dark, but there's cool stuff.
Don't want to miss stuff. Interesting about the Romans was if there was a square inch of space, they painted it. They put art on everything. Everywhere you looked, there was something to see. And every wall, ceiling.
Overwhelming.
There was too much to see. After a while, it's like, okay, how many more amazing things can I see? When you turn a corner, oh, there's another amazing thing.
Mm-hmm. Or just statues all along a bridge.
Statues everywhere. They love their statues. The Romans love their statues.
Yeah.
So Shalane did a great job planning for our first day. Tons of stuff. And we were really planning to do all of it. But our bodies just said no.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to stand in line as long as we did at St. Peter's Basilica. We got there around 11:30 or 12. Our ticket was 12:30, but we ended up standing and waiting in line, even though we had a skip the line ticket for probably about an hour that I wasn't expecting.
There was a whole skip the line that we got to stand in. But we even got yelled at by a little Italian lady. She was very angry that we were trying to skip the line. We have tickets to skip the line.
We have skip the line tickets.
And she's like, no, that's the line to get the line, skip the line. Like, great. Yeah, so Rome's full of a lot of really cool things, but it's also full of a lot of people. I'm pretty sure 3/4 of the population at any given time are tourists.
And this is the shoulder month.
Yeah.
We have a full day tomorrow as well. It won't be as bad as today because we won't be like standing in a lot of lines.
Yeah, right.
We're not standing in any lines. We shouldn't.
Okay.
Colosseum, we might for a little while, but we have a guided tour, so we should be okay.
And this is just day one. We still have another day tomorrow, a whole bunch more stuff planned. So we'll be getting to that next. We were up early again, and Shalane had another packed day planned for us. A bit more tired than the day before, we pressed on because there was a lot to see. We made our way towards Trevi Fountain, our first stop of the day. Since we decided not to tour the Pantheon the day before, and it happened to be along the way to the fountain, we stopped to check it out. It was early and it was not open yet, so we couldn't go inside. As you can see, there are no crowds at this time of day. We continued on to Trevi Fountain, hoping there would be limited crowds there too. But as you can see, the crowds were already starting to pick up. This place is absolutely packed by late morning, and they limit access to the front of the fountain when they have large crowds, so this still worked out nicely for us. We were able to get right up to the fountain and get some great shots. We stopped nearby for a cappuccino. Italian coffee is just so good. Next on the agenda was the Spanish Steps. It was still early, so the crowds were fairly light. We were told that sitting on the steps was forbidden, but the nearby guards didn't seem to be enforcing the rules. After this, we continued on and stopped for some gourmet breakfast.
We're in Rome and we're at McDonald's at his request. Whatever.
Our plan was to walk through Villa Borghese. Along the way, we stumbled upon the Piazza del Popolo. Although not a planned stop, we took the time to take it all in. And just what our sore feet needed, lots and lots of stairs. The view was most definitely worth the climb. Just beyond the overlook was one of the entrances to Villa Borghese, one of Rome's many beautiful parks, filled with monuments and, of course, many statues. After an enjoyable 90-minute walk through the park, we made it to a taxi stand where we jumped into a cab and rode to the Colosseum. We were way ahead of schedule as our lunch reservation wasn't for another hour. We decided to try our luck with the restaurant. They were more than happy to seat us early. We ordered a light lunch and a spritz. After lunch, we headed across the street and attempted to redeem our tickets. This was the first real hitch of the trip. Turns out the company we booked the tickets through was experiencing some kind of technical problem and was unable to issue our tickets we pre-purchased. We were only informed of this after we contacted the customer service when the vouchers we had were rejected at the gate. We received a full refund, but then we had to get in line and purchase new tickets.
We're not standing in any lines.
We ended up having a great conversation with some Australian travelers that made the 40-minute wait fly by. With fresh tickets in hand, we entered the Colosseum. We spent well over an hour exploring the Colosseum. Our tickets included access to the Roman Forum, but at this point, we had been exploring for over 9 hours and we were ready for a break. We decided to skip the Forum and grab a cab back to our Airbnb. This was our last night in Rome, so after a short rest, we gathered ourselves and headed out. Compared to the early morning hours, the streets were packed, filled with a mix of tourists from all over the world, locals, performers, and artists. We chose a cozy little restaurant called Nanarella for dinner. I had a sausage mushroom pizza, and Shalane had meatballs. We were on vacation, so of course we indulged in some dessert. Everything was fantastic. Our only regret for Rome was we didn't have enough time to see it all. We want someday to return and spend more time, see more things, and pace ourselves. Thanks for watching. This may be the end of our time in Rome, but it is not the end of our trip. Come back next time as we board the Celebrity Constellation for a 12-day cruise around Italy and Croatia. Hope to see you then.
Be sure to subscribe.
Oh yeah, subscribe, like,
share, comment, all the things. My feet are killing me. That part probably get cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Joe, cut that part out.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, no.
That's not gonna make it in the video. That's gonna get edited out.